If you're watching live, please say hello. If you're watching the replay, say replay in the comments. And if you're catching this on YouTube, say YouTube in the comments. But we're going to talk about the psychology behind one of my favorite brands, and it's Target. I absolutely love shopping at Target. My husband hates how much I shop at Target. So I just wanted to talk to you kind of the things that we touched on in the interview, in case you didn't get a chance to read it. Really, really cool, like nerd out things. So if you like to nerd out on like marketing strategies and tactics, you will want to hear this. If you're a business owner, these are things that you can implement even if you're not a ginormous brand like Target. Okay, so one of the things that I was asked about is how you're almost like instantly prepared to spend more money than you plan on when you like go to Target, right? I don't know about you, but I almost go to Target just fully knowing that even if I have a budget, even if I have a list, it's probably going to veer slightly from that. And there's some key things that they do to make you do that. And so some of those things are they have a clean, organized, like well lit store. They have roomy aisles so you don't feel cramped. It's not like dimly lit and grungy. You guys know who I'm talking about. And like they have things like a Starbucks when you first walk in. And while you may have not even like realized that this affected you the way it is, but when you see that Starbucks, if you happen to stop at the Starbucks, it's instantly slowing you down, and it encourages you to kind of like sip your coffee and stroll through the aisles, which if you're spending more time there, you're probably going to spend more money also. Another really interesting thing that they have that you might not have really noticed is they do have some angled shelves that make it a lot easier for you to like see things when you're just strolling by in those like middle aisles. It's a lot easier to see more things down the aisle. So that'll also slow you down, get you to look at more things, possibly get you to add more things to your cart. So the next thing that I was asked is that kind of ties into that, besides the angled aisles, is why do I tend on stopping at other aisles once like I have my shopping list, but then for some reason I end up stopping at all these other aisles that I didn't initially intend on stopping by. And the angled shelves is one key to that. But the other thing is the way that they lay out their store is very intentional. So if you have noticed, there are there's usually the holiday section or seasonal section all the way in the back. So if you have gone there for their cute like spring or Valentine's Day thing, that was you have to go by several other aisles before you get there. Also, you know, they have almost like necessities, I want to say, on the outer aisles. And then they have things that make you feel good in the center. So as you're strolling by to pick up like dish soap or toilet paper or something like that, you can look across to the other side and see the cute spring dresses or swimsuits or really soft loungewear. And so then you just go over and you start looking at that. Another thing that they position to get you to look at some other things that you weren't intending on is their dollar spot. The dollar spot is a personal weakness of mine, but it's really neat in the sense that it breaks down the barrier of getting you to spend. So the dollar spot, if you're not aware of what it is, it's this little section up front that has items that are $1, $3, $5, maybe $7. So in that range, they're really low priced items, and they'll either be somewhat tied to the holidays or season, or just other random household and kid-friendly items that will stop you right at the front and break down that barrier to get you to just add an item that you weren't coming in the store for from the get-go. And then from there, it's almost like a domino effect. You're like, oh, well, I just picked up this little thing. I'll pick up this little thing. And it really adds up without you even thinking about it. And so another thing that I was asked about was Target's vibe. So the way that I was asked about it is how it speaks to younger audiences, being like, bright and colorful. But honestly, it's really not even geared towards just the younger audiences. Target has a brand persona of the everyman or every woman. They're a really inclusive brand. They really want to make everybody feel like they belong and create feelings of happiness. So that's not just a younger audience thing. I think that's an everybody thing. And so they pick the bright colors. It's also a really big contrast to their overall white store. So things pop out really easily. But on top of that, bright and colorful things often are associated with feelings of happiness. So when you're in this environment, you feel happier, and happier customers make more spendy customers. So tied to that as well, they have their employees in a red polo and khakis, so very uniform, but the pop of red that the employees wear as their top is literally like a Target, right? They are easily to spot. They're easy to spot, and they're often making their rounds through the store, either putting things away or just organizing in general, or just saying hello as they pass by. But by having these easy to identify employees, that also contributes to a more pleasant shopping experience, because there's honestly nothing more frustrating when you're going through a store and you can't find somebody to help you, or you can't find what you need, or you can't find the price for something. So by having these little moving targets throughout the store, it makes it easier for the customer to get the help that they need, and they feel better about shopping there. It also, by providing easy, accessible help, like readily available, that helps the customer not use so much brain power when they're shopping, right? I'm not saying that anybody is dumb when they're shopping, but if you can take the mental load and strain off of your customer when they're shopping, they are much more likely to return, and much more likely to be satisfied with the service or products that you're offering. So, the last thing that we touched on in the interview was that she noticed that there were a lot of products that they sell that you can't find anywhere else. And while Target is a general store, meaning that they have lots of different items, they have everyday items, they're not really exclusive to anything, but they offer products, everyday products that you can't buy at every other retailer. And this speaks to that audience persona that wants to be seen as an individual, as being unique, and as being special. So when you can get your shampoo and conditioner that's a special brand that you can't get everywhere else, you feel like you are heard, you are seen, and you have this unique quality about you. So Target basically they carefully pick companies to collaborate with and carry in their stores, to make people feel special, allow them to be able to pick something up that's unique that you can't get everywhere else, even if they're just the mundane items. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that we talked about in the interview. I wanted to see if anybody had any questions, about either the Target effect or maybe other companies who do similar marketing tactics. I'm happy to chat about that.